The question every Indian asks before applying for a US visa: what are my chances? And most importantly, is America rejecting India more than others? You're watching Times XP. My name is Rejections, and let me put this perspective very honestly. India and America, a long crowded line. Every year, lakhs of Indians, they line up outside the US embassies and consulates, be it students, tourists, tech professionals, families. India is not just one of the biggest applicants. India is the biggest applicant pool for the US visa. So when rejection numbers they come out, they look scary. The number that's making headlines now for 2024, India's United States visa rejection rate, it stands at around 16.3%. Now pause for a moment. That means 83% of Indian applicants, they are still getting approved. But here's where confusion begins. Why do some countries show zero rejection? You'll see headlines saying that there are some countries like Monaco, 0% rejection, even North Korea, 0% rejection. Sounds shocking? It isn't. Because barely a handful of people apply from these countries, sometimes single digit, sometimes symbolic applicants. Well, here, zero volume is equal to zero rejection. That looks really great on paper, but it means nothing in reality. India is playing a different game here. India sends hundreds of thousands of applications every single year. That means more first-time applicants, more varied backgrounds, more tourist visas, more student visas, more scrutiny. Scale changes everything. A big crowd always face tougher scrutiny, right? So why do some Indians get rejected here? Not because Indians are weak applicants, but because officers look for four big things. Big finances. Can you really afford the trip for education? Be it home ties. Will you come back to India? Clear purpose here. Tourism, work, or study. No confusion is allowed over here. And fourth, overstay risk. Even a small doubt, it hurts your case. And here's the harsh truth. Interviews last barely 2 to 3 minutes. One unclear answer, one nervous response, one missing link. Rejected. Well, first-time visitors, they always face the heat here. Specifically B1 and B2 tourist visas. Why? Because officers have very little data on you. No past travel history, no previous US stamps, no long records. So clarity becomes everything, right? And here's the part nobody tells you. Despite all of this, India dominates in approval where it matters the most. One of the highest number of Indian visas approved, one of the highest H-1B and work visa holders, Indian professionals, power Silicon Valley, healthcare, research. That doesn't happen without trust. So here's the real story just in one line. India's rejection rate is about volume and not credibility. America is not saying no to Indians, it is simply checking millions of applications very carefully. In the end, here is a takeaway for Indian applicants. Prepare documents properly, be honest and consistent, explain your intent very clearly, and don't panic over statistics. A rejection number is not a verdict on India, it's just math. And with the right preparation, your chances are still very strong. This is Rejections explaining what the numbers don't tell you, because headline scares, but facts empowers.